O come, Emmanuel, and with your captive children dwell. Give comfort to all exiles here, and to the aching heart bid cheer. Emmanuel shall come within as love to dwell. Emmanuel shall come as the presence of love that dwells within. And when love dwells within us, what is the quality of presence that we give to others? Since this is the season of presents, this is about presence. Today is the first Sunday of Advent, and this evening will be the beginning of Hanukkah. For Christians, Advent is marked by a spirit of expectation, of anticipation, of preparation, of longing. Like the children are longing and expecting and awaiting the pile of presents under the Christmas tree in a few weeks, very few weeks. There is a yearning for deliverance from the exiles, or from the evils, to be in exile. There is a yearning for the deliverance from the evils of the world, first expressed by the Israelite slaves in Egypt, and I suspect also being expressed by many of you today. Hanukkah, which means dedication, commemorates that day that the Maccabees liberated Jerusalem from invaders who outlawed Judaism and desecrated their temple. In order to cleanse the temple, holy oil was needed to light the temple's great menorah, or candelabra. The Jews searched through the desecrated temple and finally found one small cruse of sacramental oil, barely enough to last one day. Knowing it would take 8 days to prepare new holy oil, they went ahead anyway and used the little bit they had to light the menorah. And as the story goes, the oil miraculously burned for 8 days. Each year as the holidays approach, I'm reminded that not everyone thinks December is the happiest time of the year. A few bars of that, Bobby, the happiest time of the year. Thank you. He's so awesome. You can just throw stuff at him. So while some people are eagerly looking forward to weeks of dinners and parties and decorating and shopping and cooking, others find themselves feeling more alone than ever. It's isolating to be surrounded by happy people when you're feeling down in the dumps. And while some people eagerly anticipate invitations to social events, there are others who, upon receipt of an invitation to a party, immediately start crafting their excuse for not attending. Perhaps the someone with whom they used to show up won't be with them this year. And being by yourself when everyone else is with their special someone can make you feel lonelier than ever. Grief is magnified when the message you are getting is that you should be happy. Every fall, my friend and colleague in Huntsville, Carl Malm, offers something he calls Hope for the Holidays. Now, Carl directs the Center for Loss and Grief and does one-on-one counseling and grief support groups throughout the year. He does workshops for ministers and lay people who are doing ministry. During the holidays, though, he brings people together at area churches, and they provide a meal for them, and then afterwards they sit and talk a little bit. He offers a time for people to come together, because he knows that loneliness and grief are compounded by the expectation of joy. Several years ago, I went to see what Hope for the Holidays was about. I thought I might learn something about helping people who are experiencing grief during the holidays. Not feeling like I was at all. After the meal, people gather to introduce themselves and say what brought them there. Some, like me, came to hear what Carl would say about helping people during the holidays who are feeling grief. Others came to find hope for the holidays. The reasons that people were there were as varied as the number of people in the room. During the holidays, we seem to do a lot of reminiscing. One holiday reminds us of other holidays, and we think about how things were and about what is the same or what is different this year, what changes have taken place, who was there last year that's not here this year. If your story or the story of someone you love has been disrupted, all the joy and happiness around you can just amplify your sense of isolation or loneliness. If we endured a loss during the holidays, then it's especially pronounced for us in subsequent holidays. It's possible to lose our way and find ourselves in confusion, even despair, when we suffer a loss. Our first thoughts of loss might be about the loss of a loved one or a friend through death, but there are many kinds of loss. The loss of a friend who moves away, or of a partner because of separation or divorce, the loss of a much-loved family pet. Sometimes we lose our dreams and our ability to do the things we used to do because of our health, illness, or an accident, or just the natural process of aging. It's possible to lose our way and feel confused and in despair when we suffer any of these kinds of loss. So that time that I went to Carl's gathering, I said when we introduced ourselves that I was there as a minister to hear what Carl had to say about taking care and being there for people in grief. Then Carl, who knew me and knew that my husband and I had been taking care of my mother in our home who had had a stroke, and we'd been caring for her for quite a while, some years, he said, "Alice, you know that when you take care of someone who is declining over a long period of time, that you go through grief yourself." I had never thought of that. I thought all the crazy things I was doing were just me. But when he started to talk about what kinds of things we do or happen to us during grief, I recognized many of them. I imagine this year that, as I said earlier, during Hanukkah, there will be immense grief and confusion as the 11 people whose lives were lost at the Tree of Life Synagogue are remembered. And we don't escape our grief by ignoring it. We don't escape pain by ignoring it. So right now, I'm going to give you permission in this very special gathering, this very special place, to be a little selfish, just for a moment. Now, not to the degree of narcissism or anything, but just for a moment in the midst of all of this holiday frivolity, to think about whether or not there is something that is holding back your joy. And I invite you to name that for yourself. Is there a sorrow that you will carry with you through this holiday season? And after just a moment you have to think, I'm going to try to ring this little bell and invite you to come forward and place a red ribbon that I have here on this wreath that I put there as a tangible symbol of that sadness. And our ribbons will reflect the sorrows that live within this community, even though we may not know what they are. And if you are someone who can't walk up here, if you'll raise your hand, I'll put a ribbon on here for you. So some of you may not be ready or may not want to do this. You may not have any sorrow this year. If you do, though, perhaps even so, you're not ready to move in any direction with your sadness or your grief. Perhaps sitting quietly with your thoughts is enough for now. Whatever you need is enough. We do not control these natural processes any more than we can wish for a tree to grow when the seed has not been planted or the ground properly prepared. In this fallow time of winter, we may choose to submerge ourselves in the fertile soil and wait to see what spring brings when the warmth and the sunlight and the gentle rains transform the landscape around us and therefore our inner selves. So in the quiet of this moment, and maybe with a little music, let us acknowledge our loss and grief. Thank you, and thank you. In chaotic times, we may become confused and frightened. We aren't sure we will be able to find our way out. We have a choice at that point. At the moment when fear and confusion surround us, we can retreat to the place most familiar, to the light we know, living in memories or in the past, giving up on the future, a place we think of as of hopelessness or despair. Or we can embrace the uncertainty, the confusion, the fear, and the pain, knowing that only by going through this will we come out on the other side. The metaphor of the seasons, the stories in the sacred texts, all tell us that only by embracing that time, sometimes referred to as darkness, by embracing what is, do we emerge in the new light of day. It's as if the seed is beginning to gestate in the dark, rich earth. It is now the great cold of night, not the negative images of darkness, but it's an unknown richness in there, a deep part in each of us where our intuitive, creative forces abide. Like the oil that somehow kept the menorah burning for 8 days, we somehow find our way out of the darkness. But perhaps only if we have hope that there is a way. Presence, the presence of love within, which we sense when we are awake and aware, and the presence that we are able to offer others. What we can do for one another is just to be present for each other in loving ways. And people who are involved in a congregation are known to do better in grief. They have more resources at their disposal for handling the disruptions in their lives. There are times when we need help from our church, and there are times when we serve or help our church. And serving the church means serving those who participate in the life of the congregation. People frequently come to church for the first time when something has happened in their lives, a major transition. Even joyous ones, like getting married or having a baby, create change that sometimes is not easy to manage, and it brings people into community, church community. People come to be in the presence of others with whom they can talk and share their lives. And if the life they have been living and expected to continue to live can be no more, they may be looking for a new way to understand their life, a new narrative. There are times when we need someone to listen, and there are times when someone needs us to listen to them. And of course, this shifts back and forth for each individual. It helps to have gone through some things and to come out on the other side, to be a witness for the goodness of life to someone in despair. So churches can help by finding ways to invite people in at those critical junctions in their lives and be present for them. Each of you who right now is grief-stricken or coping with something, you have something to offer to others. Sometimes it's just to sit quietly next to them, because you knowing what they are going through is support and help. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to try to fix it for anybody or save them or offer advice. Just your presence is an amazing gift. It is in this way that I think Unitarian Universalism can shine. We can help people to a spiritual maturity that helps others. So we can serve our church simply by showing up and being present for others. And if you have had some rough times in your life and you've come through that time and found joy again, you may be an anchor to someone out there riding the storm. Thich Nhat Hanh points out that it is not the desire to make someone happy or to ease their pain or to bring them joy that matters in true love. It is the ability to do so. And that takes training. To love someone properly, you must practice deep looking, he says, so that you truly understand the person. Love without understanding, he claims, is not true love. The mind of love is very wide, the Buddha said. It grows immeasurably and eventually is able to embrace the whole world. Karen Armstrong warns us that before we embrace the world, we must focus on self. We must have these feelings for ourselves before we can give them to others. We must know and love ourselves. So our deep looking to understand ourselves is in service of understanding others and embracing the world. As we grow in understanding of ourselves, we come to know deep within ourselves that we are connected to all that exists. So now, for a moment, I want you to just sit there and imagine holding yourself in a loving embrace. Look deeply into your own heart or mind and allow yourself to claim at least one thing you know or understand that will be of help to someone else. Perhaps it's something you've learned during the hard times you've endured. What you understand may be a gift that you uniquely have to offer the world. Like the lotus flower that requires mud to grow. You've been growing in some mud. And what has grown for you? So I'm going to let Bobby play a little more music, and then in a few minutes you can come forward, and I have ribbons of different colors. You can choose a ribbon that calls out to you. I hope I have enough. There's a lot of you here today. A ribbon to place on the wreath that is a symbol of hope, a sign of the compassion and understanding that you are able to bring to the world because of who you uniquely are. And so all the ribbons are different colors, and you choose the one you want. I'm going to share something with you in just a minute, but let's sing our hymn number 112, Do You Hear? And you may rise as your body or spirit allow. Thank you. All the sighs, all the prayers, they are yours, mine, and theirs. Do you hear? Do you hear? Sometimes you can hear without speaking, without people speaking. I think we heard a lot just now. Penny came up to tell me something that she had on her heart that I'll share with you, and I can imagine that there are many stories like that sitting here today, so I'll only share this one. But if you feel moved to call me or talk to me, I am available for that. It may be a phone call if I'm in Huntsville, or we may arrange a visit when I'm here. But that's what I'm here for, okay? But Penny just told me about this congregation and what it's meant to her, that after her mother passed away and toward the end of about 2 years, she just felt like crying all the time. And there were people here who let her sit next to them and just cry. And they were there for her. It's so easy to be important to someone. It's so easy to make a difference in someone's life. I actually have some more words here somewhere, but one of the things going on with me right now is vision. Okay, so I've had a couple of surgeries for my eyes, and I'm kind of grieving the loss of being able to see things really sharp and clear. So if you see me fumbling around here every once in a while, like, I should turn this light on. You reminded me of that once, Bill. Man, that helps a whole lot. And my eyes are supposed to get better, but it's going to take a while. So at the center of the world and in each breath, this is the holy temple, the birthing moment, giving and receiving love. That's all. That is the sacred point, the love in you meeting the love in the world. However broken or weary you are, bring yourself here in love now.